All right, thank you very much. Thank you. So, what do you think, Joe? We got theme music now.
I missed the bump 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 bump.
Oh, Bucky, what's your vote?
No comment.
If you had a choice between one or the other.
No comment.
Okay.
I'm telling you, the bump bumps would be better.
You think the bump and bumps are better?
I like the bump and bump.
I don't know. I like the new theme music. We're not always there for the bump and bumps. That's why we're moving on to theme music now. Hello, everybody. It's your good friend Pozzible here, and I'm here with Bucky.
Hello.
And Joe.
Good morning.
You know, to tell you the truth, we just got done with our first podcast for The Prisoner, the new number 2 podcast. And, gosh, who knows when that's going to be published.
Yep, who knows?
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. We got to figure that part out. It'll probably be next Saturday. I do need some help with somebody on that one. But you know what, guys? We didn't come here to talk about that. We came here to talk about the next batch
of movies.
What's coming up here real soon here. Bucky actually confused it with another next batch.
Well, Gremlins 2 was called the next batch.
Exactly. You know, back in the 80s. They are thinking of rebooting Gremlins, much to your dismay.
It shouldn't be rebooted. They should do a direct sequel.
Direct sequel, even though 30 years have passed.
Why not? They did it for...
a lot of movies, yeah.
The Sharon Stone one where she had the...
Basic Instinct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, it was almost that long anyway.
Yeah, and
Ghostbusters 3 is allegedly in the works.
Right, Bill Murray is the holdout on that one. Personally, I'm going to go out on a limb and declare that one dead. Do you think they'll ever be able to revive it?
Of course.
Do you think they can just move forward without Bill Murray? I mean, I love the guy, but if he's not going to play ball, you got to move on.
True, it would be nice to see a Ghostbusters movie and have like a next generation type of thing.
But should it be reboot then?
No, I mean it should take place after Ghostbusters 2, and just have the characters mention that who was Bill Murray? He was Venkman.
Peter Venkman, yes.
Yeah,
I would just say Venkman died while investigating the.
A ghost.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
But then why wouldn't he be a ghost if he was investigating
I really
a ghost?
think if you don't want to be a part of it, omit him.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Maybe you should...
Or he moved to a less haunted part of the U.S. or something.
What they should have done is what they're doing for ID4 Part 2. They are making the sequel to Independence Day Part 4, finally. Now, of course, the big holdout there is Will Smith. If you're going to get Will Smith into Independence Day 4 Part 2, you need to first pay him a whole lot of money. 2, you got to give him a role for a stunt. So...
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, scrap Independence Day.
He did his own movie, though, already. You know, After Earth.
And did you see that?
Don't remind me! Yes, I saw it!
Wait. Were you the only person in the theater?
It was a full theater of everyone else who regretted the movie as much as I did.
So it wasn't good.
It wasn't good. You know what? I already gave the review, but the worst part about it was so unilateral. You know, movies need variety. Movies are not action. Movies are interaction. And watching Jaden Smith go for a walk in the forest is not a movie. Okay? It's like, okay, you gave him the one mission. Go get the emergency beacon, right? Because the emergency beacon, the most important part of a ship in case it crashes, broke when it crashed. You would think there'd be better safeguards to protect against something like that. Also, Jaden Smith, I mean, I have nothing against the kid. He did a good job. I think he did a good job. I think the director did good with what he had to play with. They could have just added a little bit more, gave us more variety. The only one who ever helped that movie was Zoe Kravitz. She was like one of the few people in the movie who actually wanted to be in this movie, and she was having fun, and I loved her. And no one talked about her. It was all Will Smith and Jaden Smith, which nothing against it, but Will Smith was a robot. He literally could have been played by a plastic character and no one would have known the difference because he's this emotional... What are we doing? We're reviewing After Earth. But he's this emotional shell. We're here to talk about the next movies. And you guys ready for the next movie? It's ready for the sequel to Olympus Has Fallen. Actually, no, it's its own movie. It's White House Down with Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx. I saw Olympus Has Fallen, and I really like this. But this is one of those movies where I have to ask, who is minding the store? Did somebody hear that they were making one movie and then they decide the other studio had to make another movie just like it? You know?
It's been like that since at least the 90s.
But
when Armageddon came out, it was Deep
Deep
Impact.
Impact,
Yes.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. And you know what? There is this one studio that is solely dedicated to cheap knockoffs, okay? We had Transformers. They made Transmorphers. We had High School Musical. They had Catholic High School Musical. And down the road. Yes, and you know what? The movies were just as horrible as they sounded. Okay?
Okay.
I now owe Bucky aspirin.
Well, it could have been worse. It could have been Mormon. We won't go there.
Yeah, but moving right along real quick. This one, now I saw Olympus Has Fallen. I liked it, but it was very, very intense, which is what it was supposed to be. Very, hardcore. This one looks funny. Here, it's going to be a completely different movie. Because in Olympus Has Fallen, it's the president's son. In this one, it's the cop's daughter. So it's a completely different movie. Right?
No.
Okay, I tried. But it seemed like they went more for comedy in this one, wouldn't you say?
Maybe
what you're defining as comedy.
It's kind of like he's driving around and Jamie Foxx is trying to, work a rocket launcher, so he hits Channing Tatum in the head with a rocket. And Channing Tatum's like, do not hit me in the head with a rocket while I'm driving. And of course, Jamie Foxx, it doesn't show it in this poster, but the president needs glasses. And he doesn't have his glasses at one point. He's trying to shoot a bad guy who's wrestling with Channing Tatum, and he's trying to shoot him, but of course I think he's like more of a threat to Channing Tatum than he is to the bad guy. And so I think they're going more for humor. Believe it or not,
I don't believe it.
I give it a see it. I think it's going to be just a funny, fun popcorn flick. I mean, it's the summer. We're not expecting, deep dramas or anything. I think it might just be funny, but I give it a see it. Bucky.
I am basically tired of plots like this. We see them almost every year.
What, Die Hard?
We got Die Hard, we got White House Down, we got the previous one you mentioned.
Olympus Has Fallen.
Which basically could have been merged into one movie.
Yeah.
So pretty much we're going to wait for the sequel, Olympus Down Part 2.
Olympus Has Fallen even further.
Or Olympus House Down, combining the two, whatever.
Yeah.
But I personally don't go for movies like this, so I'm probably going to say pass.
Joe.
I'll be the tiebreaker. I'll go with the decide for yourself, because this is not a movie that I'm into. I did see the comical. Thank you. I'm inventing more words. Yeah. The comical aspect of it.
You had the right word. You just invented a new pronunciation. A new
comical?
Yeah, you gave it a new
I can see the comical aspect of this.
But me and Joe are always making new words.
Yeah.
And it should be Joe and I, because that's the correct grammar.
But yet you have no problem making up new words.
But new words are important to our society, I mean, there was once a time nerd wasn't even invented, You ever seen an actual nerd from Dr. Seuss?
Actually, Dr. Seuss did invent the word nerd.
Yeah, he did. It was
the word nerd actually goes back to William Shakespeare.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay, what book?
I don't remember. It's just something I heard.
We'll look that up. Because I can name the book. It was Dr. Seuss's If I Ran the Zoo. All right. But, I mean, yeah, Joe's going to give it a decided. I will give you guys out there one warning. The director of this movie. He did Independence Day, so he does good with the fast action, light plots. But he also tried movies like Day After Tomorrow in 2012. I mean, come on. I did not like those movies. He's actually looking up the introduction to Nerd. While he's looking that up, we're going to head to the next one, which is The Heat. Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy are the cop buddy picture with an FBI agent, straight-laced by the book, and the rough and tumbled cop by Melissa McCarthy. They're apparently going after some drug dealers or something. From the people who brought you Bridesmaid, we have The Heat. And let's just jump right into it. I'm giving this one a pass. I know people, it's supposed to be funny. Something like this has really been working lately, but I don't know. There's just something about The Heat. It just doesn't grab me. Joe, what did you think of The Heat?
I didn't even finish the trailer. I gave it a shot on the trailer.
Yeah, you stopped it real soon.
Well, I got about 80% through, but it just, I loved Melissa McCarthy on Gilmore Girls. I thought her character of Suki St. James was really cool. Now she's in this one, and I I don't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was funny. I mean, I thought a lot of the stuff they did was stupid, kind of.
Well, I mean, it's very typical. Like Sandra Bullock's the FBI agent. She's very straight laced, very hardcore, but nobody likes her. Okay, very cliche. And of course, Melissa McCarthy is the hardcore person who takes no crap. The problem with her for me is that they really take her too hard. You know, you do not look at a coworker and threaten to kill them in a very painful fashion and expect to keep your job. Okay?
Yeah.
Especially in nowadays. I don't care how hardcore you're supposed to be. I mean, of course, they're going to try to question the suspect, and that means torturing him. And of course, they can't pull him up, so he falls onto the car. That's typical. I mean, I actually laughed at that part, but I don't know. It's old school, you know?
It just, to me, I didn't find even the trailer that entertaining.
Yeah.
It didn't keep me informed or interested. So, if I wasn't interested in a trailer, why am I going to go to the movies and see it?
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, sometimes I know a lot of these next batches can seem a little tough. It's our chance to rip on these movies as best we can, but you know what? It's really a review of the trailers. Do these movies really sell us? Is the question at hand.
See,
and
I'm getting the impression
it's
that
going to be no.
Melissa McCarthy is like ad-libbing a lot of the lines in the trailer, and for me, they don't work. I don't find her funny. And, I mean, don't be wrong, she was hilarious in Bridesmaids. I liked her in Bridesmaids. But to me, this just seems like a female version of the movie Dragnet.
Exactly. Well, Dragnet or Lethal Weapon or any other buddy cop movies where they're supposed to have this opposites attract type of thing. And there's nothing wrong with making this, but there is something about the trailer, it just grabs me the wrong way. That's all. That's why I give it a pass. Joe?
Oh, I pass on this and the trailer for this.
Yeah. Bucky?
I will say pass.
Pass. All right, next up. Now, we're here at the next batch with Possible Movie Reviews. We like to focus on movies you can actually see, okay? We would like to make sure that these are actually going to show up in your theaters. But I'm going to take a chance on this one, Redemption, with Jason Statham, where basically he is a ex-military man who falls on hard times, goes for the drink, and apparently after a beating, and this one girl he helps get away, he turns his life around and really gets back to normal, and he's able to return to society in a productive fashion. He makes the money, he gets himself cleaned up, he stops drinking, I assume, but then the girl he saved back in the day who disappeared on him, all of a sudden she winds up dead. And so now there's sort of this mystery of, well, who actually did it? What's going on? And he goes from being the guy who gets the crap beat out of him to the guy who beats everybody up. There's apparently also a period. Get ready. Don't hold your breath for this. He's actually going to cry in this one. Now I can see that with Jason Statham. I like him. I liked him when he did movies like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch, where there was not much action. It wasn't about beating people up. It was actually just him acting, being a con man. It was a fun movie. The guy can act. I will give him that kudos. The guy can act. That being the case, there's something about this particular movie that I think it's going to be a little bit too much drama, a little bit too much, people, and not enough appropriate action, I should say. It's going to be a rough movie to watch, but I'm actually going to give it a see it, believe it or not. What do you guys think?
I didn't find anything in the trailer that would interest me. I'm not saying this is a bad movie, but I will say between this and The Heat, I'll probably see this.
Joe, what do you think of the trailer for this one?
Pretty much the same thing as Bucky just stated.
Yeah.
I didn't really get drawn into it. Not my type of movie. But I don't think it's going to necessarily be a bad movie. And when it comes to, he's comparing it to The Heat, yeah, I mean, to me, there's no contest.
Right. For me, I mean, ultimately, when it comes to Redemption, the reason I give it a pass, it does look just like a very dark movie. This one is set entirely in London, so you could tell, it's going to be very local to that area and everything. And I find that interesting, but I hope there's going to be a mystery to this. That's my hope.
Do you think we'll see Big Ben?
Big Ben.
Big Ben. Oh, in Parliament?
Parliament, thank you. Yeah, he's trying to do a little Christmas vacation. No, not Christmas vacation.
European
vacation. European vacation joke there. Jason Statham, I think he chooses good movies. I saw the movie Safe with him, and that one was kind of rough to watch, but it had some really good moments in it. and that's why I am looking forward to this one. I hope it does come to regular theaters. It might not come to a theater near you, I have to be honest, because you never know with some of these movies, nowadays. And so that's it, guys, for our next batch for this weekend. I hope you enjoy yourselves, and I hope you really see a good movie. Bucky?
Be seeing you.
Night.